Hello and welcome to your favorite show that features some of the brightest minds in Nigeria's creative industry. This is the Camera Lounge Season 2, brought to you proudly by Camera Joint, Nigeria's #1 camera store. I am Olukayode Alanide, your host. You have a chance to win a Sony Alpha 7 IV camera with a 28 to 70mm kit lens in the Camera Lounge Season 2. Here's all you have to do. Subscribe to the Camera Joint and Mabike Productions YouTube channels. Leave a comment describing what you learned from each episode. Mention a creative icon you'd like interviewed on the show. Camera Joint will announce a winner at a Raffle Draw Live event in June 2023. The Camera Lounge, powered by Camera Joint, supported by Sony Alpha Nigeria, and produced by Mabike Productions. Don't miss it. What do you do when the cost of your dream outweighs your budget? Do you abandon the dream altogether and chase something else that is less difficult? Or you do everything within your power and your means to make your dreams come true? Now that's the story of our guest on the Camera Lounge today, who rose from a very difficult and challenging period in his career to become one of the most sought after music directors or music video directors in the country. Since the 2000s, you will find his name on most of the very significant music videos that you'll find in this country. A director, a producer, and executive producer himself. He's one of the major pioneers of hip-hop music production in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Welcome with me to the Camera Lounge Season 2, Mr. AKIN Alabi, who is also known as Prof Daddy. You're welcome to the show, sir.
You kept down.
Yes, Prof Daddy, Prof Daddy. The young and the old love him alike. Nice to have you on the show today.
It's my pleasure.
Now, in case you don't know, you're up for stories about the evolution of music video production in Nigeria. Now, give me a rundown or some kind of comparison of how music videos were being produced then as opposed to now.
Okay, comparison, I think we'll start from two things. Start from budgets, then the second thing will be gadgets.
Budgets and gadgets.
Budget and gadgets.
Those are the major things.
I think I'll give you rhymes now.
Yeah.
Budget gadgets.
Budget gadgets. Yeah, nice one.
Like for me, the first video I did, the budget was I think 25,000.
25,000.
Yeah, the first paid music video job I was ever given.
25,000.
Was 25,000 naira. And I did it with a Sony PD 150 camera.
Wow.
That's a mini DV camera.
Wow.
That was the gadgets available then. So I remember I shot green screen. I shot partly green screen. The green screen I used, so I used to have my office in my parents' like penthouse. So I used green screen with red lights. Then you only had the red lights. That used to be 800 watts red lights, burning hot.
Yes.
So
so much heat.
Yeah, so much heat. So two red lights, green screen, and the PD 170. And we made the video. And that was, I think that was the beginning of my video directing career. A 25,000 naira video.
So 25,000 naira, 2004, I think, was that?
Yeah, around that, yeah, 2004, 2005.
And 2023 now.
So 2023.
So what's the average budget?
You have LED lights now. You have tube lights. You have 4K cameras, 8K camera, 12K camera. You know, then if our age 1080p was luxury, I remember when 1080p came, which was even HDV. It was not even full 1080p. It was not full HD 1080p. It was 1440 by 1080, and it was Sony that first. I think it was Sony that first brought that. So that was HDV, and for you to shoot HD, you need to go and buy an HDV tape. Then to be able to record, high definition, and to the transition, took time to go from shooting normal PAL DV. A lot of people don't even know what PAL DV is now today. Everything is like from HD upwards. But then you shot PAL DV 720 by 576, and you need to capture when you shoot. After shooting, you take the tape, you capture. So if you shoot for 1 hour, you have to use 1 hour to capture the footage into your computer.
Yeah.
Today, there's no capturing. But if you go to Adobe Premiere, you still see that word capture, and the shortcut is F5. But now it's obsolete. There's no need for capturing. Everything is memory card.
You just copy.
You just copy. But then you spend time. So imagine this show now. You have 3 cameras, and you spend maybe two hours to record this. So that means 6 hours of capturing footage first before you now start editing.
So let's go to let's go to the budget side. What's the average these days for music videos?
The average these days runs into millions.
10, 20, 30?
10, 20, yeah. It runs into millions, depending on the level of the artist.
So let's begin from the beginning. Give us a sense of your background.
Okay, family. I was the only son in my family. We had 3 sisters, second born. I went to a boarding school, which I think influenced me a lot, in the sense that if you go to a boarding school, you have to learn how to be self-dependent. Then you must learn how to stand on your own, how to survive. So that survival instinct in me got developed in boarding house, and that ability to fend for yourself, So I developed that in the boarding house. So for me, going to a boarding school, Federal Government College Idwani, that's in Ondo State, was a very part of my formative years. I also went to University of Ilorin, where I did business admin. But before going to university, one of the major things that happened to me was that before then, my dad had discovered that I had love for arts. So in secondary school, they made sure I did fine arts as a subject, even though I was a commercial student.
So why didn't you just do arts?
Yeah, my father wanted me to go into business. So my father was a businessman. So it was natural for me to tilt towards, being a commercial student. But I also had the art part of me. I used to draw and all that. So they made me do fine arts. So I've been like an hybrid kind of person. So commercial student, but doing fine arts. If I did fine arts in GCE, that's to know how serious in GCE, I also did fine arts. Before going to university, that was the era when computers started coming into Nigeria. So this is around 94, 95. So we're having lots of computer schools around. So my father bought a computer for us back then. That was a Pentium 286. If you know the history of computers, you know how far back that generation of computer is. So we bought a Pentium 286 for us at home. So then I was sent to a computer school. So the only formal education I had in computer or whatever was just the 1 month course. So I did a 1 month course in desktop publishing.
That's like
desktop publishing.
Yeah.
And that desktop publishing, then we were taught Paint. For you to know how far back, Paint. Paint is what they used for. Paint is like Photoshop now, but then there was no Photoshop. It was Paint basically. That was what we were taught. So we learned Paint. I learned, I think, Corel 5. I learned.
Corel 5.
I'm not sure there was Microsoft Word then. I'm not sure. Then it used to be Lotus 1, 2, 3. That was like Microsoft Excel. Before Microsoft Excel, it has Lotus. So I just learned basically, basic desktop publishing, which is graphics, what they call graphics designing now. And with that 1 month knowledge, that was what developed my interest in computers and using technology to do art. So I just took my love for fine arts and transferred it to computers. So I started doing art. So I started doing graphic designing. So basically, I started with graphic designing. So that was my first entry into the world of maybe creativity, we call it creativity, or creating content. It was as a graphic designer.
Okay, I'm with my best friend. I'm sure you guys know already. My best friends are always the Sony cameras, and this is the A7R5, recently just dropped by Sony Alpha. It's a 60 megapixel camera, and you know my favorite thing about the Sony is the autofocus system. It has an improved autofocus recognition. You can actually save, the subject's face on the camera, and then it follows through anywhere the subject goes through. Your focus is intact. In terms of video, it has 8K at 24p and then shoots 4K at 60p. The videos are amazing. I call it a hybrid master because you can actually use it for photography and video at the same time. It shoots 10-bit 422 video options and also includes S-Log3 and Cinetone. It's a very easy way of shooting and getting your images ready for your client. And then in terms of raw files, because I know you're going to be saying it's a 60 megapixels, in terms of raw files, you can actually reduce it and have 26 megapixels and also have 15 megapixels. My best friend is the Sony A7R5. In terms of technology, it's a great camera. In terms of build quality, it's amazing. Ergonomics is amazing. The way, the grip is, it's quite very sturdy and all. Sony camera is my best option. I don't know about you.
Tell us that story of the experience you had. I mean, you're a songwriter, a graphic artist, and all of that. But you had a project at hand. You had produced the music, and then you needed to do the video, and then you reached out to someone. Tell us that story.
Okay, so that story is basically how I got into music video directing. It was not something I planned in my life. I never had the dream to become a video director. I never saw myself holding a camera. So what happened was that I used to be a music producer. So I had a music studio in Lagos.
That's audio studio. Audio
studio, yeah. In fact, I can say I was one of the first people that started using computer for music production in Lagos. Because this is like early 2000, 2001. Back then, you only had analog studios with big audio mixers. So here I am in my own studio. You only have CPU, monitor. I had one amplifier. I had one normal microphone. And when young boys used to come to my studio then, artists used to come to my studio then, and they were asking to play my stuff. I'll play it for them. Say, you did this thing here? I said, yes, I did it here. And they were used to like big studios. So that was how I started getting lots of artists to produce in my studio. So from then, as I said, I used to also make music. So I wanted to do a video for all of my songs. And I went to meet a video director there. His name is Uzodima Okwechi. He was a top top video director. Yeah, so I went to meet him in Solidarity and played in my song, and he gave me the bill. The bill then was 200,000.
200,000. 2004.
2004. Yeah, they're about 200,000 naira. That was big. So I came back home and I thought, if I have 200,000 naira, is that the best way to spend that money? Video production has three elements. You have the music parts or the audio parts, which I was already into audio production. I was using audio softwares like Cubase, Cakewalk and Co.
Cubase.
Yeah. Or the first like Cubase 5, then Cakewalk. Then the graphics parts, I was a graphic designer already, so I understand graphics, understand colors, understand composition. So the only thing left that I didn't know was the video parts. Okay, how to edit videos and put videos together and maybe shoot videos. So I said, okay, since I didn't know 2 out of the 3, let me just go and learn the third part. My senior sister gave me 100,000 naira. So I took that 100,000 naira. So I said, okay, let me upgrade my computer system, which was used for audio production, to be able to edit videos, to become a video editing system.
All right, yes.
So I wanted to start from video editing first. So what do I need to do? I have to buy a video card, because then you can't edit without a video card. And then you have Pinnacle video card, you have Canopus. So I went to a friend of mine who sells video cards, and I bought a video card from him for 80,000 naira. That was a Matrox, the Matrox video card. After buying the Matrox video card, I went back to my studio, to want to install the card inside the computer, so that I can start, doing video editing. After putting the card into the computer, installing it, put the system on, waiting for the thing to boot and recognize the card, the message I get is my system does not meet up to the minimum requirements of the video editing card. Therefore, the card cannot work. So I got stuck. And the 20,000 naira that was left from the 100K, I'd used that 20,000 naira to go and shoot a video. I had a neighbor that was a cameraman, so I paid him 20K to get a camera and also help me shoot the video. So I shot one of the videos for my song. So he was the one that shot the video for me. So after shooting the video, say, give me my rushes, give me the tape.
So that you could do the post-production
Exactly,
yourself.
you get it. So, but I needed the material to start. So that was the only way I could start. So I shot the video with the 20,000 remaining. So he gave me the tape. So I was already waiting for, let me install this card and we can begin the process. So I got stuck. So I had to go and meet, and I had to go and meet my dad that see my predicament. Unfortunately then, my dad was not that so much in support of what I was doing. So it was a difficult thing.
What would he have wanted you to do?
He wanted me to work with him. He's an industrialist. So he wanted me to work with him, which I did for a time. So he was not into all the stuff I was doing. He was anti everything.
All right, so what did he say?
So me going back to now meet him that I need money to finish this computer that I want to do. I was like, but I had to go and meet him because I didn't have anywhere else to go. I can't go and meet my sister who had already helped me. So I told him, this is my condition. I've bought this also thing, but it cannot work with my system because it's not high enough. So he asked, okay, how much do you need to upgrade it? I told him the amount. I can't remember, maybe another 100K or so. So I told him, and he gave me that money. So I upgraded the system, and I was able to start the editing. So I edited that video. But even the editing, because it's not as if I just knew how to edit like that. Before then, I think I had done one video with a video director that was not as popular as Ozodima. So I had done a video with that guy. He too was based in Surulere. Surulere was the home of video
the hub
making.
of video production.
Yeah. So then when he was editing my video, I used to go stay with him in Surulere and watch how he was doing it. So, and because of my exposure as a studio audio producer, it was easy for me to understand, the software he was using, because it was just the same tracks.
Exactly. Video was the only different element.
Yeah. So I was just watching him. That's how I learned video editing. I didn't even ask him to teach me. I was just watching what he was doing, how he was doing the whole process. So by the time he finished editing my video, I'd already understood how to edit videos. So the only thing left was, have your own editing system and begin to practice and start practicing.
So how did that segue into you becoming a video director?
Everything is in stages. So after a while, I was editing videos. Then it got to a stage. People were bringing garbage videos for me to edit.
Badly edited,
badly shot videos, and I'll do magic. It will come out fine. So it was like every time they bring a job, the shots are always not very good. I have to do magic to make it look fine, which eventually always looks fine. So after a while, I have to put my feet down that, okay, if you want me to edit your video for you, I have to be part of your production from the beginning. So that we can avoid making all these mistakes that we are doing during editing.
So in retrospect, it meant that you having to overtime work to edit badly filmed videos increased your capacity to be a director because you were seeing the wrong angles.
Yeah, I was seeing the wrong thing. So I knew what to avoid. It helped a lot. So eventually one person gave me that opportunity and said, oh, we want to reshoot one of our videos. Since you're going to be the one editing it, come and join the director and be the part of the whole thing from the beginning. So it was after that video that somebody now gave me 25,000 naira to direct, to shoot, to do everything.
Shortly after that time, you did something that announced you.
Yeah.
So what was that project? Tell us about it.
So after I had done the video for 25,000 naira, the next video I did was for 80,000 naira. So it went from 25k to 80,000 naira. So the 80,000 naira video I did was a green screen video. And it was dope because then I was very good in green screen. And the reason I was good in green screen was because there was no money to rent gadgets. But with green screen, I can take the person to a virtual world, create virtual sets, create a virtual camera, track, do crane shots, do tracking shots, do anything I like, which I don't have the money to, I don't have the budget to use in real life. So I used to do lots of green screen videos. So I did a green screen video for that song. And the green screen videos were the rave at that moment in time.
Yeah, chroma key.
Yes, it was a rave. And the video was dope. So what now led me to the video that
What video was that?
You can't even know. It was an upcoming artist. So, then because I knew lots of DJs and radio presenters because of my studio production work. So there was a particular DJ that was close to Prof. So Prof had gone to meet a particular video director and they had charged him a particular amount for the video he wanted to do. So he was lamenting to the DJ. And the DJ now said, I know one guy now, he will do this video for you at a lower rate. He said, That was how they got in touch with me. So he gives Prof my number. Prof calls me. I show him the video I did for 80,000 naira. It was exactly the same kind of video he wanted to do.
Wow.
Same quality.
So he was happy.
He was extremely happy. So he just said, listen, okay, I want to do this video. This is exactly what I want, but I don't have much. How much do you want to collect? Me, that was collecting 80,000 naira. And the person that charged him maybe 1.something million naira then. So I didn't know how much to mention. So I was now saying, you two, how much will you pay? He too said, I don't want to price you in here. How much will you collect? You two, how much will you pay? Because I didn't want to go and shoot myself in the leg.
Absolutely.
So eventually he said, okay, that what he can pay is I think 300,000 naira. Either 300 or 350. That's how much he can pay. In my mind, I was just jumping up. Me, I'm coming from 25k, I just got promoted to 80k.
80K.
Now I'm doing 300 or 350. I was like, okay, you work with it. but in my mind, I was extremely happy.
Yeah.
So we did the video. We shot the video today. The next day, the video was ready. I just sent the video to him. He was shocked.
You finished it in 24 hours?
Yes. He was shocked. And there was no correction. It was perfect.
You just took it like that?
He just took it like that. It was perfect. And back then, videos used to take months before they come out.
Yeah.
That was a problem. That was a problem back then. Video used to take a lot of time before the artist would get it. So him getting a video like 24 hours after shoot was like a miracle. So after that one, I did another video for him again. So from then, it just kept getting better.
Now, I noticed that you're a very multi-talented person. But there's usually a problem with multi-talented people. And that's, sometimes they get confused.
Yeah.
I can do graphics. Yeah. I can do mural arts. I can do visual arts. Yeah. I can sing. I can produce. There are many things. Did you have that challenge of confusion, of being stuck in what direction to go and stuff like that?
Do I have that challenge of confusion? Maybe not much. Yes, I have my own challenge.
What was yours?
My own peculiar challenge. It's not worse, it is still is, and it will continue.
What's that?
Yeah, so far you are a most-talented person, you will always have that challenge. So majority of people have confusion.
Yeah.
So I've been able to overcome confusion. I'm not confused. So I know how to juggle the multiple personalities. But what I do is sometimes I work like a clock. So maybe at 1 p.m. now, I can be manifesting a particular character or traits or
talent.
Or talent. I'm actually from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. After 6 p.m., from 7 p.m. to 12 p.m. is another thing you'll find me doing. I'll be in another mood entirely again. And if you come and meet me to do what I did from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m.
At that time,
I'll just be looking at you.
how did you discover that self-management? Because again, sometimes creatives know themselves, but they don't know how to deploy themselves productively.
What I've tried to do is I've tried to turn my weakness into something that can be to my advantage. So what is one of my weaknesses is the fact that I get tired of things easily.
Oh, you get tired of things easily?
Yes, I get tired of things easily. So I don't have that long-term kind of relationship. The only thing I've had a long-term relationship with, surprisingly, I've not gotten tired of is video making.
Wow.
You know, from the day I started till now, I'm still doing it. So that one, surprisingly, I've never gotten tired of it. But I get tired of doing things, you know, quite quick. So because of that, and that is one of the reasons why I do my jobs have a very fast turnaround rate. So when I say I finish a job in 24 hours, it's not because
you want to move on to the next
I want to move on to the next. I don't have that long lifespan. So the faster I can do this thing, the better. The longer it waits, the less interest I have in it, and the less inspiration I will have. So I always like to eat the iron when it's hot.
Now, so you built so many things over the years. Now you have a museum, you run your studios, you have a production company, you have content on television. How did you develop your business capacity?
Well, I did business admin in school, as I've said. My father is a businessman.
Now, again, we can't take that for granted because not all people, all the people who did business admin or commercial stuff can run business.
Yeah, so I've been an entrepreneur from a young age. From my university days, I've been an entrepreneur. So from university, I'd known that I will not work for anybody. I was already making money as an undergraduate. I understood the art of taking an idea and turning it into a product and putting it to the market and seeing people buy it. So if I create this wonderful TV now, oh, it's beautiful, you know, nice, but nobody is watching it. For me, that you're not being creative. Your creativity is not complete. So for me, my creativity is when I see people using that thing or willing to part away with their money to enjoy whatever I've created.
Now, you've told me the thought process.
Yeah.
What are those elements that you have in your mind, or those components that when you're creating something, you ensure you incorporate that leads to selling?
When you're creating something, think about the end user. Don't think about yourself alone. Don't think, oh, this is my idea, this is how I want it. So sometimes creatives create for themselves. They create they create to please themselves, not to please the target markets. So when they do that, at the end of the day, it backfires.
They eat what they create.
Yeah, they eat by themselves. They have a crying. So you know, so I like listening to people. I like listening to the markets. I like listening to feedback.
The voice of the market.
Yes, I like listening. So I always, for example, when people come to this museum, I always ask my staff, okay, what part of this place do they like? So if they give me an answer, with that it will help me to know what they like. I can do more of that thing than doing what I feel they will like.
Talking about that, we'll take a short break now. When we come back, we'll be talking more about how to do business with your creativity. That will be in a moment.
You have a chance to win a Sony Alpha 7 IV camera with a 28 to 70mm kit lens in the Camera Lounge Season 2.
Here's all you have to do. Subscribe to the Camera Joint and Mabike Productions YouTube channels. Leave a comment describing what you learned from each episode. Mention a creative icon you'd like interviewed on the show. Camera Joint will announce a winner at a raffle draw live event in June 2023. The Camera Lounge, powered by Camera Joint, supported by Sony Alpha Nigeria and produced by Mabike Productions. Don't miss it. Welcome back to the Camera Lounge. I've been speaking with Mr. AKIN Alabi, who is a renowned music video director in Nigeria. He's also an executive producer. He has businesses in the entertainment and media industry. And we've been talking about how to convert creativity into business. All right, so you have told me that you usually have people at the back of your mind when you're creating stuff. But again, people change. All right, people, what they want changes like at the snap of the finger. Now, it also means that if you want to continue to satisfy the yearnings of people in terms of creative products, you also have to develop. So that brings me to the subject of personal self-development. It means you need to learn more about people. You also need to learn more about how to create stuff and all of that. Tell me about how you have been able to reproduce yourself in terms of self-improvement.
So YouTube for me, it's a very good resource place. So I'm always watching, even things I know. Like when I was watching this morning when you came, I already know it. I can teach it, but I still watched it. Because sometimes you can miss, there might be some things that you have missed in the past, one little thing. So I'm always trying to update myself. I don't believe I'm there already. I don't believe I've known it all already. So that's one thing I do.
In a very short period of time, you became very renowned for music videos. What would you say was that one thing that helped you grow that fast in terms of capacity and in terms of business growth?
Number one, being able to create your own brand, your own brand identity as a creative person. So one of my specialty was that I was very good with outdoor videos. My outdoor videos used to do like abroad.
How did you learn?
In fact, then they used to call me Lord of the Sky because one of my identity was that my skies were always blue. And every other person's sky was always white. So it's like, no, how did you use it? How is it getting blue sky? Are we
not on that same sky?
Are we not on the same sky? You know, I still have a...
So what were you doing differently to achieve that?
That was my own secret now. You know, 2 years ago, music directors in Nigeria, we had like a dinner, end of the year dinner. You know, so I met with, old colleagues, and one of them was telling me that, that time, you guys used to chance us with your blue sky. I used to wonder, how did you used to achieve that thing? That was cracking my head. You know, so for him to mention that thing, that means it was really a thing.
Yeah.
So I really hammered on that thing and made it my brand identity that, if you want that kind of, American outdoor vibe, Florida kind of, Miami kind of vibe, where everything is vibrant, sky is vibrant, I'm the person you can go and meet. You can't get it somewhere else.
Wow.
So that was also part of my, strategy that I used, apart from living on time.
Gears were a thing because, after the time you came into the industry, technology just went off the roof. Now, how were you able to keep up? Now, because there's also this insanity of, I must get the next gadget. How were you able to strike the balance between the insanity of wanting to get the best gadgets and ensuring that you were also producing the best products that you could?
So I think I've always been a gadget freak too. So from day one. And I can almost say that, if not the first person, maybe part of the first 5 people to start using DSLRs to shoot videos in Nigeria. So when that transition happened and DSLRs started coming into the market, I was one of the first people that took the first plunge to use them to shoot videos. My first camera was the Sony EX1. And that was a very high-level camera back then. Sony EX1 camera. It was using a memory, one of the first cameras to be using memory cards. and I bought that camera back then. So I was able to transition early from using tape to using memory cards. I made sure I understood the Sony camera and the Sony system.
Yeah, before you made that.
Yes,
switch.
I understood that camera from top to bottom. I knew how to manipulate it very well. In fact, then I used to grade on the camera, because the XZCam series then had so many. What was it like? It's a Cine Ultra cameras. Ultra camera. So it had so many, settings that you can just manipulate to create looks. And I used to do that a lot with that camera. So I learned the camera well. Then I moved to Panasonic. I used the Panasonic for a while. So after Panasonic, we had what they call depth of field adapters, which is an adapter, a very long adapter like this that you attach to your camera. And with that adapter, you can use photo lenses. So, ordinary video cameras will not achieve shadow depth of field because of their sensor size. So with that depth of field adapter, you are able to use photo lenses
to blur
the background. So for us, that time it was like, man, this is like Disneyland. I was one of the first people that bought that depth of field adapter. I had it. In fact, clients used to rent from, in fact, maybe I was the first person, it was mine that clients used first. So for you to know, I've always been a gadget freak. So
a front runner.
So depth of field adapter, I got it. I bought it. I used to rent out my cameras.
I think you were one of the first to get a Blackmagic in Nigeria as well.
That one is still, so don't, I'm starting from the beginning. so after Panasonic, we did Canon, now went to Canon. So when Canon came out, I moved to Canon 7D.
Yeah.
So I started using 7D to shoot videos. I remember I shot nice, no big mistake video with the Canon. And when I bought the Canon, nice was saying, it was you. It was loan. So he didn't need to test it. Because he was not used to seeing a small camera to be used for shooting videos. It was like big cameras back then. So I've always been in that. But on the flip side too, I believe that your gadget should not limit your creativity.
So as someone who has experienced literally all the brands, now I know you must have seen mistakes that either DOPs or people in this industry make in terms of following trends to choose the kind of equipment that they would use. So let's do a short masterclass right now. What are the exact things to look out for when you want to determine what gear you want to use? Let's stick to cameras now.
Cameras. For me, for now, almost any camera can deliver. So all cameras are like, they've reached like a threshold where they can all do great work. So now, it's no longer the camera that matters for me. It's now majorly more of lighting and production design. So almost all cameras will do a very good job.
Almost all professional level cameras.
Even phones.
When you look at the, for instance, music video production industry in Nigeria, how far would you say that we have gone? And how far do you think we still need to go?
There's no far again, no. We've gone there, we've reached there. There's nothing, I don't know what you want to do again. So for me, music video production has gone beyond the roof.
What do you think is responsible for that? Because there were times people were not watching I would rather watch the R. Kellys of this world, the Michael Jackson, but right now we've become global. What do you think was responsible for that?
More money. Money makes the world go right. Money makes things happen. It's more money.
But
Gadgets is money now. Gadgets is money.
Yes, but we've also seen projects. You know about projects when you hear the budget say, and they shot this.
Yeah. And so more money in the right hands. And the right hand using it well. So people have had access to good money in the past and they squandered it, or used it, or diverted it, or used it for personal, So, but now you have the money and you are using it well. So that is why you're having that kind of growth and development.
All right, we'll take another short break now. When we come back, it will be winding down and have some fun things with Mr. AKIN Alabi.
You have a chance to win a Sony Alpha 7 IV camera with a 28 to 70mm kit lens in the Camera Lounge Season 2. Here's all you have to do.
Subscribe to the Camera Joint and Mabike Productions YouTube channels. Leave a comment describing what you learned from each episode. Mention a creative icon you'd like interviewed on the show. Camera Joint will announce a winner at a raffle draw live event in June 2023. The Camera Lounge, powered by Camera Joint, supported by Sony Alpha Nigeria and produced by Mabike Productions. Don't miss it. Welcome back to the last segment of the program. This is the Camera Lounge Season 2, coming to you on the stable of Camera Joints, Nigeria's #1 camera store. I have been speaking with Mr. AKIN Alabi, who is a foremost music video director in Nigeria. Now, I would like you to walk us through some of your, I wouldn't say best works, because that would be difficult to achieve, but your favorite works. Which will be your first?
My favorite work, my first should be Bariba by Area Father, also known as Charlie Boy.
I see.
Yeah.
So what makes that project tick for you?
Because we are two different extreme personalities.
You mean you and Charlie Boy?
Yes, me and Charlie Boy. He's very extreme on the other side, I'm very extreme on this other side. And so for us to be able to work together on that project for me was like, okay, yeah, it's not something I do on a regular, it's not something I do every day. So for me, I like that challenge. And we were able to come up with something very different and not something I do every day. And so I was able to explore some other part of me that I don't usually do every day. And it was someone that, you just vibe with the idea immediately. And we were able to make a movie. So it was like a short movie. So it was a music video, but yet it was like a movie.
I see.
Yeah.
Great. So what would be your next work?
So my next work will be Komole by TIV. And when I say TIV is my wife and I. So we were fortunate to have done that song, I think 12 years ago now. And it was a hit in
I think you won
Nigeria.
an award with that.
You won an award, Sony award, And if you see watch that video,
yeah,
today,
we're watching it right now.
It still stands the test of time, even though it was shot with a Canon DSLR.
It's a classic.
Yes, it's a classic. Yeah. So and the reason why I also like it was because I produced the song. So with that song, I was able to go back to the music production part of me, which I'd left for years. And I never believed I could go back to it and pick it up again and do something great with it. It never occurred to me. So for that being able to happen for me I was shocked and blessed alongside. And to be able to now do a video for it, that was also very groundbreaking. In fact, that video was the first video where you have the dance called Etigi officially shown on TV. Yeah, Komale video was the first video that had that dance in it officially. Yeah, I
remember Etigi was.
It was through that video that Etigi was introduced to the world. There was no music video with that dance. I was the first person that introduced that dance.
All right, let's move on to the third work.
So my third video will be Testimony Jaga featuring Akororo. And one of the reasons why I like that work is because the two characters are very full of energy. The two artists, rather, very energetic people. And I shot that video vintage AKIN Alabi style, classic AKIN Alabi style. It was all outdoors in the street of Lagos Island, Marina, with all the high-rise buildings, there. And you see my signature style in that video. Everything was outdoor and it was sweet. I love the video a lot.
So have you ever had a conflict with a client? Have you had those situations where you have a vision based on the brief, but the client is looking in a different direction?
Okay,
and if so, how did you resolve it?
It goes back to that same philosophy I've been saying. Your client is king at the end of the day. It's not your business. It's their property. It's their content. You are helping them to achieve their vision. It's not your vision.
Not yours.
It's not yours. No matter how much you claim, even if your name is on it, it's not yours. So I've understood that from a long time. So I've come to grasp with this. So if you say, oh, I have an idea, don't worry about it. Don't think about anything. I have what I want to do. Fine, I follow you. The next client will come. He will say, I don't have any idea. Give me your idea.
That's your opportunity.
And I'll give you my idea. The top person might come again and say, okay, I have half idea. You two bring half idea. Let's add it together. Let's do something. So that, for me, that's the beauty of the journey, because everything is not similar. Everything is not the same experience. You have different experience. So just flow along. Good.
So what would be your fourth favorite project?
My fourth will be Prof Daddy versus Mr. Gargantuan.
Correct.
And yeah, one of the reasons why it's my favorite is because Prof Daddy is like a recent discovery of mine about myself. It's the last thing I ever thought I ever do in my life, but I found myself doing it. You know, so it's like the comical part of me. And
what brought that about?
So my wife was doing a boot camp for kids, like summer boot camp. So she had a film training segment, a class, which she asked me to handle. So I did that. So after the training, one of the kids now told me that he has a YouTube channel, that he also does skits. So I checked his skits out and it was nice. So I said, okay, what do you use? He said he uses phone. So, okay, let's do one together, just for fun. So we shot one together. I did one with him, and I decided to post it. So I posted it just to catch crews online. And funny enough, people liked it. Everybody was commenting, oh, funny, funny, funny. I was like, I hope people are not whining me. Right? Don't people go and deceive me. Oh. Are you sure this thing is funny? It's funny. The comments was much. So
great. So he had engagement.
He had engagement, serious engagement. So I said, okay, since people will say it's funny. Second day, I said, let me do another one again. So I did another one. They still liked it.
Okay.
Okay. Third day. No, that's me. If I decide to do something, I'll be very consistent with it. So third day, I was shooting with phones. So third day, I did another one again. Posted it. Since the enter. So if I say this thing, if I say when they enter. So that was like,
based on your philosophy of what the people want.
Yeah, so
let's give them.
Maybe at the fourth time, I say, it seems I have to give myself a name at this juncture in time. Okay. I decided to think about the right name to give. So I talked to one of my friends and we came up with the name Prof Daddy.
Prof Daddy.
So from there it's just evolved. So eventually now got to say, okay, let me start featuring Nollywood actors, and so Mr. Gargantuan was probably maybe one of the first people, or even the first professional Nollywood actor or actress that I featured in the skit. And it was, you know, for me, it's like a challenge to me too. I'm not a professional actor. So for me to work with a professional actor and to be able to deliver, I was pushing myself to see whether I can actually do it and make it work. And it actually worked. So we vibed together and we were able to create
Congratulations.
We had to create something very, very interesting.
All right, so what would be your fifth favorite work?
Okay, so my fifth favorite work is a current video I just did called Child for Shola Listen. Yeah, and as I said, all of my brand identity is children, and the song is about children. So I was able to resonate with it, and I was able to interpret it perfectly to the client satisfaction.
Yeah, that's key, to the client satisfaction. Yeah. So I think there's no better way to wrap it up this afternoon. Thank you very much, Mr. AKIN Alabi, for allowing us into your fantastic museum here. You can see the old television. I don't know how many of you recognize this. And the turntable there. This is such a beautiful place to come to. This is where we draw the curtain on the program today. Thank you very much, Mr. AKIN Alabi,
thank you for having me,
joining us on the Camera Lounge Season 2. This has been brought to you proudly by Camera Joints, Nigeria's #1 camera store, produced by Mabike Productions, and of course supported by Sony Alpha Nigeria. I'm Kayode Alayande. Bye now.
You have a chance to win a Sony Alpha 7 IV camera with a 28 to 70mm kit lens in the Camera Lounge Season 2. Here's all you have to do. Subscribe to the Camera Joint and Mabike Productions YouTube channels. Leave a comment describing what you learned from each episode. Mention a creative icon you'd like interviewed on the show. Camera Joint will announce a winner at a Raffle Draw Live event in June 2023. The Camera Lounge, powered by Camera Joint, supported by Sony Alpha Nigeria, and produced by Mabike Productions. Don't miss it.
Okay, and with my best friend, I'm sure you guys know already, my best friends are always the Sony cameras, and this is the A7R5, recently just dropped by Sony Alpha. It's a 60 megapixel camera, and you know my favorite thing about the Sony is the autofocus system. It has an improved autofocus recognition. You can actually save, you know, the subject's face on the camera, and then it follows through anywhere the subject goes through. Your focus is intact. You know, in terms of video, it has 8K at 24p, and then it shoots 4K at 60p. The videos are amazing. I call it a hybrid master because you can actually use it for photography and video at the same time. It shoots 10-bit 422 video options and also includes S-Log3 and Cinetone. It's a very easy way of shooting and getting your images ready for your client. And then in terms of raw files, because I know you're going to be saying it's a 60 megapixels, in terms of raw files, you can actually reduce it and have 26 megapixels and also have 15 megapixels. My best friend is the Sony A7R5. In terms of technology, it's a great camera. In terms of build quality, it's amazing. Ergonomics is amazing. The way, you know, the grip is, it's quite very sturdy and all. Sony camera is my best option. I don't know about you.